I'm Zach, and today we're going to dog food better bet and talk about some junk. So I want to talk about Jansen Junk's pitcher strikeouts line in tonight's Braves Marlins game. Looking at player strikeouts for Jansen Junk. It looks like most of the books I use are hanging lines at about 3.5 right now. BetMGM is the oddball out there, hanging 4.5. And it looks like they do have an alt line for over 3.5, but that's a pretty egregiously bad price compared to everywhere else. All right, so let's look at some data. We'll look at Jansen Junk, his strikeouts per game this season. He's averaging just under 3.5 for the season, but the last 3 games and last 5 games, he's been well over 3.5. Better Bet has some built-in Bayesian modeling. Let's see. Well, we know that 4.5 for an under from MGM is probably a winning bet, but we're more interested in 3.5. Here, Better Bet's model is saying take the under. I think that's wrong. I think that's the wrong take, and the reason I think that is if we look at the Braves for their last 25 games and how many strikeouts they've had, we can see that last time they played the Marlins, well, yesterday, they had 11 strikeouts. The day before, they had 9. Those are both higher than their average over the last 25 games, and those are both higher than the last couple games in those shorter windows. So I have to think that Junk's junk is going to be good, and he's going to get more than we expect in terms of strikeouts. So I'm going to look for an over line, and I want the best price for this over. So far, over 3.5 at Profit X is minus 139. That's the best price I see so far. FanDuel, minus 134. I looked at BetMGM's alt line, which is pretty gross. Well, looks like I'm taking it at FanDuel. Cool. So go place my bet at FanDuel. Well, I'll place it and share my bet later. But what I want to drive home here is it's not always useful just to look at the player's data. Sometimes you have to look at how their opponent has done. That feels like the right kind of thing to look at. We'll see if my $15 bet ends up winning. All right, let's bet better.